Well, hello, Transparent Church and friends. This is Pastor James with the Word of the Day. Today, I want to spotlight Matthew chapter 8, verses 23 through 26 from the New Living Translation, where we find these words. Then Jesus got into the boat and started across the lake with his disciples. 24. Suddenly, a fierce storm struck the lake, with waves breaking into the boat. But Jesus was sleeping. 25. The disciples went and woke him up, shouting, "Lord, save us. We're going to drown." Verse 26. Jesus responded, "Why are you afraid? You have so little faith." Then he got up and rebuked the wind and waves, and suddenly there was a great calm. Well, as we start this new day and new work week, I want to start us today with this theme, trusting God in the storm. I don't know where you may be starting this week and this day off and where you are with God, but here's what I do know. You and I can trust God in the storm. Jesus says to the disciples who should have known who he was, and he had just performed miracles before them just prior to this part of the passage. And he says to the disciples, "You of little faith, I'm in the boat with you. Water may be in the boat, but when Jesus is on board, your boat will stay afloat." That's a word for someone today. It's interesting to note, if you look at this entire chapter 8 of the Gospel of St. Matthew, Jesus says to the centurion, "You have great faith," because he says, all you got to do is speak the word and my servant will be healed. But to the disciples who saw him do miracles, he says, "You have little faith." Don't let it be said of us this week, if we're in a storm or out of a storm or on our way into a storm, that we have little faith. Let this be a day that we trust God, even when we're in the midst of a storm, because here's what you got to know. When Jesus is on board, you're going to be okay. So take that with you this day as we start this day and week, and know that you're not in the storm alone. God's going to bring us through, just like he did with the disciples. Make it a great day and start of this week. And Lord willing, we'll see you next time.